रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast is brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां. रोशनी. Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
Hi, my name is George Abraham and welcome to Eyeway Conversations. My guest today is Mahenoor Ali, who is a civil services aspirant and a postgraduate in mathematics from the prestigious IIT Delhi. Hi, Mahenoor, welcome.
Hi, sir. Nice to meet you.
So, Mahenoor, you've been a math student and you've done a postgraduate degree in mathematics. How come you decided to take on the civil services exam?
My actual aim was to do PhD in mathematics. I wanted to become a leading researcher. I was inspired by Ramanujan. When I appeared in my PhD interview, so I was rejected due to my visual disability. One day I went through the syllabus of civil services. So I was interested, and I also was reading about Baba Sahab Bhimrao Ambedkar and his immense contribution for the upliftment of SC community. And one of his statements inspired me. Any communities cannot get success unless it has a representation. Means it should have right to represent itself in all the organs of the government from bottom to top.
Right.
Now the problem is that we have the laws, but we lack implementation. Implementation is too slow, right?
Right.
So this inspired me to go for civil services and to serve community. And indeed, this will make me serve whole of the country, because we cannot be developed and we cannot become a superpower until and unless everyone is developed.
So, civil services, people take years preparing for it. There is a lot of reading to be done, and the examination process is also quite elaborate. How are you as a blind aspirant? How are you kind of preparing for it?
My parents and other teachers, they saw the talent in me and they said, you are very good to become a civil servant. So there was something like this in my mind. And that's why I took a course in rural development, and I participated in the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan of the central government. So this was how I was building the base in MSc itself. I was very interested in the discussions of the rural development and all. I did a lot of projects in the course. When in 2020, I made my mind. So I had to collect books. So books are in very small font, and most of them are not available in accessible format.
Right.
So I had to go from shop to shop to get it done in A3. A3, very large font. Only one person in Kanpur agreed to do it. So that's like handwritten notes and all, or some coaching material, which is not accessible because it is scanned material. So that I did it in A3 format. So and I talk about I find a great mention to mention about Unacademy. It has made its whole website accessible for blind person.
Right.
So it's great. And secondly, we have this Amazon Prime and Kindle.
Right.
So many books are available there.
What I wanted to know here is, what subject are you doing?
My optional subject is anthropology.
Okay.
I took it because I was interested in genetics from childhood.
Right.
So it has, and I also studied in Odisha because my father was posted there. So I stayed with the tribals. There, it was a tribal district. So I was kind of interested in tribals since 10 years back.
Right.
So anthropology deals with all this. It suits my taste, so I took the subject.
So is mathematics one of your subjects for the civil services, or mathematics is not an option?
No, mathematics is an option, but I didn't take it because it had a lot of applied mathematics.
Right.
And I'm not interested in applied mathematics. I'm interested in pure mathematics.
If you know of anyone with vision impairment who needs guidance on living life with blindness, please share the Eyeway National Toll-Free Helpline number 1800-5320-469. The number is 1800-5320-469.
You've been visually impaired right since childhood.
Yes, by birth.
By birth. So is this, and you also talked about large print and A3 size enlargement of your books and so on.
Yes, sir.
Does that mean that you have some vision, or are you totally blind?
I have light perception.
So how do you read large print if you have just light perception? Somebody else reads it out to you, or?
No, sir. Shapes I can recognize, right? And letters are also shaped. So I have practiced since childhood in that way. I didn't learn Braille.
Oh, okay.
It's because of my intense practice.
Right. So I wanted to ask you, mathematics and science are subjects that blind and visually impaired people hesitate to take because there is a shortage of teachers who can actually teach blind and visually impaired children. Secondly, I don't think there's enough material available to teach blind and visually impaired children.
Yes.
What kind of prompted you to take maths and science in your school?
First, actually, in my home, my father was an engineer.
Yes.
And my grandfather was a Kanungo. So both were good in science and mathematics.
Yeah.
And they inspired me.
Yeah.
And from childhood, I was very good at mathematics.
How did you actually learn mathematics?
I would like to make a special mention of my father here.
Right.
It would not have been possible if he was not there, right? So since childhood, he used to teach me. He taught me up to class 12th.
Yeah.
So I used to prepare my lectures beforehand.
Yeah.
I used to be in close contact with the teacher.
Yeah.
Used to ask him what he will teach in the next week, next 2 week, next month. Then I used to prepare beforehand. So in the class, I used to come only for asking doubts.
Yeah.
And to make speed, I used to listen what the teacher is saying. The teacher used to read.
Yeah.
I used to tell him beforehand that I have this problem.
Yeah.
Then he used to understand, and most of them, they used to give a reading, like whatever they are writing on the blackboard, they used to read, and then I used to write it with the help of assistive technology.
What technologies did you use specifically in school?
Yes. So when I was in class 1, I went to LV Prasad Eye Institute. There was a Japanese technology presently at the time invented, and that was a cut-away magnifier.
Okay.
So that magnified, it was 6x.
Okay.
So this helped me a lot. This was, I can say, this has become my virtual eyes.
Right.
At the time, I didn't have any access to computers and all. So with the help, although it was very difficult, I had to bend a lot to read with it.
Right.
I faced many hardships, but the results was like always good. I was the topper.
Right.
In the classes and all. And when I was in class 9th, I went to NIVH one day. Yeah. Just to visit it. And there I saw people are working with JAWS. Yeah. I came to know about it. And since then I was using JAWS up to my master's.
You moved from Kendriya Vidyalaya to Miranda House.
Yes.
Delhi University. It's very rare that, in Delhi University or any university for that matter, that blind students get admission into mathematics.
Yes.
Was it plain sailing for you, or?
I had to struggle a lot because when I applied for Delhi University, I applied in many colleges, but no one was accepting me. Yeah. Then I went to Miranda House. Yeah. Miranda House, I'm very thankful to the principal, Pratibha Jolly. She was there at the time. Yeah. And she helped, and she was very inspired. Right. To see me. And then she was very interested. She said, don't leave us. Don't leave us. Just stay with us. Yeah. We are taking your admission. And they were very happy. It was like I can say that when I entered Miranda, it was Miranda House, and when I graduated from it, it became Miranda Home from me.
Oh, that's very interesting. And
Yeah, it was so good.
can you kind of explain how did Miranda House become Miranda Home for you?
Yeah. So first of all, the immense cooperation of the principal and the mathematics department. They took like they gave me in suppose in case of diagrams are there, some geometry figures are there. So they used to explain me. They by using large diagrams on my copy. They used to take extra class for me. I never said it, but
Yeah,
they did it by themselves. They were very happy
right,
to teach me. And I had 6 courses of practical also there in MATLAB, Mathematica, and all.
right,
So they used to assist me that in that also because JAWS couldn't interpret outputs
right.
which are shown, the
Right.
diagrams, the figures, the graphs, and all. So the teachers used to explain everything. This has been drawn, and now the output is this. So in this way, I used to understand.
Okay. The other interesting thing about mathematics, it's a lot of it is based on concepts.
Yes.
And you have subjects like trigonometry, you have subjects like geometry, where and mechanics, for instance,
Yes.
where the learning happens through a lot of seeing, visual.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, all your classmates were sighted people. You were
Yes.
the blind person.
Yes.
So, how did you actually understand the concepts of trigonometry or geometry or mechanics, for that matter?
Okay. So first of all, the my father used to explain me. So sometimes they used to make like figures on my hand, so that with the finger, so that I can feel it,
Yeah,
how it goes.
yeah,
So that in turn made an image in my mind, and they used to explain it like with full interest, and they had the way to explain it so that I can make an image in my mind. And secondly, the most important thing which helped me was the MIT lectures. Like I can suggest one, linear algebra by Gilbert Strang.
yeah.
They explain it in that way so that we can just follow everything. They keep in mind that anyone can attend the class, even the visually challenged person also.
So, what I understand from your explanations or your narratives so far is to actually study mathematics. It's important for the student to have a passion and interest in mathematics and
Yes.
a brain that actually understands.
Yes.
And two, the teacher who teaches needs to have a very clear understanding of concepts so that they can put these things into words
Exactly.
rather than depending on diagrams.
Yes. Because diagrams can also be represented into words. I know one professor. He is Professor Kumar Sen, and he was from Hyderabad Central University. He retired.
Yes,
He is a person who never wrote on the blackboard.
right.
He just speaks, and everyone understands.
Yeah. So,
So we need that kind of teachers.
IIT Delhi is a very prestigious place to be in, and very few people have the opportunity of actually doing a postgraduate degree at the IITs. What was your experience there?
IIT is a big campus.
Yeah,
The distance between my hostel to the department was roughly 1.5 kilometers.
right.
And initially, I had no idea about it because I had never traveled alone.
Yeah,
So again, my father came into my aid.
yeah,
He took leave. He stayed with me, and
Yeah.
he in just half an hour, he just found one method that I can just feel the surface geometrically
yeah,
with my feet.
yeah.
Feel the surface geometrically and cross the road at some particular angle.
Okay.
There were T points and all. So then I practiced that, and then within 2-3 months I was independent. I could just move from college campus to residential hostel campus independently. So
Okay.
this was one challenge. And secondly, the teachers there, they didn't have any idea
Yeah.
about the guidelines, what guidelines are there for persons with disability, what are their rights and all. So I
Yeah.
had to educate them.
Okay.
So I had I had to face a lot of like rebels from my teachers, but it all gets subsided because the deputy director, Professor Balakrishnan, was there at that time,
Yes.
and he is very passionate.
Yeah.
He helped me a lot,
Right.
and to get the rules implemented and all. Like he used to reply mails within 3 to 4 hours with actions done,
Right.
and so it was very good. And his assistive technology lab also
Yeah.
uh, is there. That also helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And I had to teach that tell the teachers also how to teach me.
Right.
So this way it like initially it affected my grades also, because I couldn't complete things at time, and the test, because there are so many tests there,
Yes.
quizzes, comprehensive tests are there,
Yes.
but I didn't lose hope. And
Yeah.
my last semester grade was 9.6, I think.
To support our work with the blind and visually impaired, you can visit the donate page on our website www.scorefoundation.org.in. Please note www.scorefoundation.org.in.
The question I would also like to ask you is obviously, right from school to college to your postgraduate degree, there were classmates that you had. Now, how did the classmates kind of react to you, and how did they engage with you?
Earlier they were not friendly at all, but as soon as they realized that I was a topper,
Yeah.
and I had a knowledge better than everyone,
Yeah.
because I used to assist my teacher also in solving the questions when they didn't know,
Where, in school or in college?
in both.
Okay.
So most of them like became friends because I used to help them.
I also was reading that you actually did some teaching. Was this informal teaching, or you actually taught a class?
It was informal teaching. In sometimes in school, my teacher used to tell that you teach the class, then computer science. Then
Right.
I used to teach them the concepts.
Right. So what I understand is that you had a solid support from home,
Yes,
which kind of helped you to kind of understand things in the classroom.
exactly.
And since in school and in college you had teachers who were receptive and sensitive, they also and passionate. So they actually spent a lot of time.
So not sensitive in the beginning. I had to make them sensitive
Right. Got it.
by my efforts, my hard work, my marks, and all.
Yeah. Now, I also understand from your what you shared with me. You during the pandemic, you have done a lot of online courses, especially from foreign universities.
Yeah.
Can you tell us some of those courses, and why did you do them?
As I told you earlier, when I was not getting any admission here in India in
Yeah.
PhD, then I applied abroad.
Yes.
And I'm happy to tell you that I cleared my GRE, TOEFL, and my subject GRE in within 2 months, all the 3 exams.
Right.
Okay. And for that also, I was denied coaching.
Right.
The coaching people said that, like, we don't admit blind persons, we cannot do that. Then I said, okay, you don't admit, I will do it myself. Then I did it. And after that, during the pandemic, I got an offer letter from the HOD, from the director of the Case Western Reserve University.
Right.
But there, due to pandemic, so they had an America First policy.
Yes.
So I didn't get funding.
Okay.
And that was a time when I was thinking, okay, like maybe I can do my PhD later. First,
Yeah.
I should, like, after becoming an IAS.
Yeah.
So first, then I started. Then I read about the syllabus of UPSC,
Yeah.
Civil Services Examination. So it
Yeah.
is diverse.
Yeah.
From there, I was interested in diversity, and I had also a passion since childhood to read in a foreign university. And
Yeah.
this combined, like this made me do in so many courses in diverse areas like public health and philosophy, Python learning, and of course, mathematics. I'm like keenly interested in number theory. So I did a course in prime number theory.
Right.
So that way, I also educated myself about the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Like how to take care, because like we have to be aware about
Yeah.
everything, and since even about the pandemic too, so that we
Yeah.
can take better care of ourselves.
Right.
Now I'm planning to do courses in genetic and continue public health, because public health and climate change, these are all the need of the hour.
You went for a educational cultural exchange program to Japan.
Yes.
Can you share your experience, please?
Yeah, so it was indeed a wonderful experience. Surprising thing was that when on the application form there was no mention of about the physical status of the person, but when I was selected, then I had to tell them. So they said okay. Then they were very happy. My father asked that she has never traveled alone, so let her sister also come with her. I will pay for her. So he said, then the ambassador said that, okay, let me think. Then after some time, we got a call from there. They said, okay, send her to Japan, and her sister is also allowed, and no need to pay for her. The Japanese government will bear the cost.
Right.
And it was so, like, we were so delighted to see the courtesy of the Japanese government for the visually challenged Indians like me.
Right.
And there they made every effort to make everything accessible. I came in touch with the technology there. Homestay was also very good. In Japan, I did painting also. They made me do painting.
Yes.
With the help of a scribe, they assisted me, like with my own hand.
Yeah.
So this way I did painting and cooking also.
Okay.
So I did all kind of activities.
How long were you in Japan?
10 days.
What was the agenda of this trip?
So it was a cultural and educational exchange program.
Yeah.
So we came to know about the Japanese culture, their art, their dance, and Buddhism in Japan. We came to know about that. We went to such places. And moreover, I liked most the American Museum, where I met Asimo, the robot.
You being blind,
Yes.
Did the Japanese hosts who were hosting you in Japan for both the cultural and educational exchange, did they make any special arrangements for you, or you had to depend entirely on your sister?
Even if I had not taken my sister, they would have taken care of me still.
Right.
They had made all the arrangements from papers in large font. There was one coordinator always with me, who used to assist me and describe the things which were presented in the museum or in the science in like science gallery, art gallery, and all that way.
Mathematics is your passion.
Yeah.
And you right now are kind of focused on becoming a civil servant.
Yes.
But as Mahenoor Ali, what are your personal interests?
Reading is my main passion. I like to read different things like in religion, philosophy, science, and I like to read autobiography of the freedom fighters, the great leaders of India, and I also like to read about the great scientists of India and the world, and so on. Like, this is what I like in reading. Moreover, I like to do new adventures. 3 years back, I did jet skiing in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and I went in the submarine.
Where was that?
In Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So it was like at that corner of the country, I saw like the different mindset. They didn't like forbid me. In IIT, once I was forbidden to enter the gym because of my disability. They
Right.
said, no, you cannot do. But there they said, you can do everything. Any water sport you like.
Okay.
And I was assisted and I did everything. Anywhere, if I find something new and interesting, I would like to do it. Recently, I did camel riding.
So what I understand from having this conversation with you is, moving on in life as a visually impaired person, it's very important to have the right mindset, both you as a blind person, and also for people around you. It's all about mindset.
It's all about mindset. Because a blind is not blind because he cannot see, but
Yeah.
he is blind because he is not getting proper accessible material. The infrastructure is not accessible. The blindness is due to that.
Right.
Once that is sorted out, then no issues.
Thank you very much, Mahenoor, for talking to us, and wish you the very best.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Nice to talk to you.
Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast was brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां. रोशनी. Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.